Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Points and Miles podcast by KardoAI. I'm your host Shrathmikha along with my co-host Dan, and we're here to talk about all things related to credit cards, travel rewards, points and miles, and many more. Today's episode is going to be slightly different because we are going to rank credit cards.
Yeah, thanks for hosting this, Shamika. Yeah, we can get into it.
All right. So the first credit card is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card. It has an annual fee of $95 and you get tons of travel rewards. Uh, and you get 5 points per dollar spent on travel through the Chase Travel Portal. You get 3 points per dollar spent on dining, select streaming services, and online groceries. 2 points per dollar spent on other travel purchases, and 1 point per dollar for all other purchases. And you get a bonus of 100,000 points if you spend 5,000 points within the first 3 months of opening the account.
Well, I would
So,
say, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card is one of my cards that I actually own. So I would say it's good because it actually, give you, additional $50 for signing up on your travel portal, and then you give you 5x points. So I think it's a very good beginner's card for most of the audience out there. I would say it's good.
okay, so where do we put this on the list? Greatest of all times, good, mid, think about it, or skip this one?
I would say good.
Good, okay. Why so?
I just think that this card is really the beginner's card for everybody else. And also the go-to card for, low annual fee, but you're getting your perks out in play. Especially with the travel rewards portal. And Chase
Okay,
can be transferred across, their Chase rewards points.
right. Oh, to other like hotel chains and airlines, is it?
Yes, definitely. So your Chase Sapphire Preferred card also goes along with your, Chase Sapphire Reserve, and you only can hold one card at one point, and definitely something that you can actually tie down with your Chase Freedom Unlimited, and of course your Chase Business card if you do have business cards accordingly. Yeah.
Right, right. Awesome. So let's go on to the next card. This is the Capital One Venture Rewards card. This gives you 5 miles per dollar spent on hotels, vacation, rental cars, uh, if you book through the Capital One travel portal, and you get 2 miles per dollar for all other purchases. Also, the welcome benefits is that you get 75,000 miles if you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of opening the account. And you get a one-time $250 Capital One travel credit in your first year. So where can we put this card?
I would say mid. It's mid tier for me. This Capital One Venture Rewards card would not, supersede our Venture X card. I think from a value proposition perspective, I think my preference would be the Venture X card over the Venture Rewards card anytime, any day. So mid
Okay,
for me.
made. But this is the same bank that's offering these rewards. So why would the valuation be lesser than another card?
Well, there's a 10x on your Venture X card.
Oh, and this is only
So,
half of that.
yeah, that's correct compared to your Venture Rewards card.
Right, right. So, but this also has an annual fee of $95. I'm sure VentureX has a lot higher, right?
Definitely, but it comes with a priority pass and whatever not. So I would say it's a mid tier for me.
More worth it for you. All right, mid tier it is. Okay, so next card is the Amex Platinum card. This is gives you 5 points per dollar spent on flights if you book directly through the Amex portal, and you get 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotels booked on the Amex portal, and 1 point per dollar on all other purchases. Also, you get 80,000 points if you spend $8,000 within the first 6 months of the membership. So, where can we put this card?
Well, this is a $695 card, and I will say
Yeah,
it as well. I think there are a lot of premium cards out there that can actually supersede the Platinum Charge card. At the same
yeah.
time, I would say the Capital Capital One cards are slightly better in terms of, the $300. I would say if you have the Uber Cash on top of that,
Mhm.
I don't think it justifies the $695 that American Express is actually charging you right now. So the perks has come down quite drastically. I like another card from American Express.
Okay, so platinum is mid, huh?
Uh,
That's interesting. I did not expect that. All right. Moving on, we have Capital One Venture X card here. I'm assuming it's one of your favorites.
yes, I would say gold. I think this is first.
Good.
All general spending is 2x, and it's the highest out there in the current market today. And of course, there are some other cards that are also 2x. At the same time, the Venture X card actually gives you, 10x on travel portal, if you're doing hotels and rental cars, etc. So I think that is a better in comparison in terms of a 395 versus a 695 again, our American Express Platinum Charge card. You have the same priority pass, and with the Capital One Venture X coming up with new launches across the whole entire globe, and United States in general. The first one actually opened in Las Vegas. Yeah, so I think this is a good card, and it will come.
All right, good. It's self-explanatory. It gives you so many rewards. You cannot not put it there.
Yes.
All right. Next card is the Delta Sky Miles Reserve Amex card. This again has an annual fee of $650, and you get 3 miles per dollar when you spend through the Delta Airlines on all of the Delta Airline purchases, and 1 mile per dollar on all other eligible spends. Plus, you get as a welcome benefit, you get 70,000 miles after spending $5,000 within the first 6 months of the card membership. Where should we put this one?
Oh, this one, it's think about it. I am not a fan of having co-branded cards in certain airlines. And also Delta can be transferred through American Express, if you have the gold card, the platinum card, or even a green card. So I think Delta Sky Miles, it's actually think about it. I mean, if you are a very heavy user of Delta and you just want to spend on one card with Delta, I think yeah, well, I think you can think about it.
Right. So only for people who really, really like traveling on Delta Airlines.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's sort of like the Amex Platinum card itself on other benefits. You say?
No, I would say in terms of benefit wise, I would prefer the American Express Platinum Charge card over Delta Sky Miles Reserve.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So let me put that and think about it. All right. The next card we have is the Amex Gold card.
Oh,
This.
I think this
Okay.
is a
Go.
very good card to have. I think dining is what someone uses day in, day out. I think
Yeah.
American Express Gold Card goes on top of my list. I would say this card is actually gold. I would say
Really?
you spend a lot of time, getting into restaurants and whatnot. Hopefully, this is something that everybody uses out there in the market. And with the annual fee, I think it justifies for itself. And it's also something that I would say it will be ahead of American Express Platinum Charge card. It's not a show-off card. You just got to take it out and, you spend on the right thing at the right time.
Right, right. And I remember when we were talking about like advices on getting your first credit card, you were like, make sure to get a dining card because you will be spending on dining irrespective
Correct.
of who you are. So this is nice. This is nice to know. And it's the annual fee is 325, and you say it's justified. So do
Yes.
you earn that money through points throughout the year?
Definitely. I think for whatever dining you spend restaurant every month, let's say is $100 to $500, you are already covering your costs on in terms of that. Any other perks that is extended on the American Express Gold card, unless you have the City Prestige card, I would say the American Express Gold card is the best card out there in the market for dining.
All right. I assume that the tier for the Amex cards would be like green, gold, and then platinum. But to hear that gold card is giving you more benefits and you put that in gold
Definitely.
rather than platinum was surprising.
Yeah, it definitely. I think American Express Platinum Charge card gives you only, 5x on the things that you do with the travel portal as well as, the airlines direct. Other than that, I think if you don't travel that often and dining is the most amount of spend, I think the Gold card actually supersedes the
Hmm.
card itself.
All right, all right. Okay, the next card we have is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This has zero annual fee, and you get 5% cash back on all of the travel purchases you make through the Chase Travel portal. You get 3% cash back on drugstore purchases, dining at restaurants, and including the takeout and delivery services. And you get 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. And as a welcome benefit, you get $250 cash back after spending $500 on purchases within the first 3 months of opening the account. So, where do we put this one on the tier list?
I think will be good. So first of all, I think the Chase Freedom Unlimited actually gives you, 5x on the uh every quarter. So they have different categories that does the Chase Freedom Unlimited in terms of quarter basis. And also something that I think is good is because it's a $0 annual fee. And with that in mind, you can actually transfer, through the Chase itself and running it through the Chase card. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. So, the next card we have is the Advantage Aviator Red World Elite card. That is such a long name. Anyway, that card has an annual fee of $99. You get 2x you know American Airlines miles for every $1 that you spend on any American airline purchases, and you get one mile for every dollar that you spend on all other purchases. You get a welcome bonus of 60,000 American airline miles after making your first purchase and paying the $99 annual fee in full within the first 90 days. So, where do we put this one?
I will say mid. But there's
Yeah.
one very good thing about this Advantage Aviator Red World Elite card. You just need to spend $1 and then you get all your sign up bonus. But from a spending standpoint, I would say it would be good, but I think I will have it as a mid. And also something that I will just use it for once and then after that I'll put it into my wallet. That's pretty much that. I think because of the
Oh,
$1, you get actually 70,000 or 60,000 depending on whether you're on American Airlines on that day itself. If
okay.
you are on American Airlines, there will be a 70,000 sign up bonus. So for me, this is the mid card.
Okay, mid it is.
Yeah.
All right. The next card is the City Strata Premier card. This again has a $95 annual fee. You can earn 10 points on per dollar that is spent on hotels, rentals, and attractions when you book through the City Travel portal. You get 3 points per dollar spent on air travel and other hotel purchases. You get 3 points per dollar on restaurants, supermarkets, gas stations, electric vehicle charging stations, and 1 point for all other spends. Plus, you get the welcome bonus would be that you get 60,000 points if you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of opening the account. So, where do we put this card?
I will also say it's a mid card. The City Strata Premier card was actually a bring up from the City Premier Miles card previously. And I think from that standpoint, the annual fee justify for itself. If you're going for a gas station, I prefer the City Custom Cash, where you will pump more than $500, a month in terms of gas and station. So I think if I'm gonna use it, City Strata Premier card falls under a mid for me.
Mid, okay. Mid card. All right. The next card is the Build MasterCard. This again has zero annual fee. You get 3 points per dollar on dining, 2 points per dollar on travel, and 1 point per dollar on rental spendings. And you get 1 point on dollar per dollar for all other purchases. There is no welcome benefit, but I know in my opinion I think that's okay. But what do you think?
For the Build Mastercard, it's a gold. I gotta
Good.
say it's a good, definitely a good. First of all, it goes to
Okay.
the transfer partners are solid. So they just recently add Japan Airlines into it, and at the same time, rental is the largest use of our daily life, and I think everyone needs to cover their head across the board, regardless of whether you are actually mulling in on things like your rental or sales and purchases of your mortgage. I think the Build Mastercard actually does it for you, and at the same time, it has a rewards program that runs to actually go into dining, etc. So it actually
Mhm.
adds up your miles accordingly. So I think the Build Mastercard totally worth it. So it's a go.
So wait, the Build Mastercard also gives you points on mortgage payments?
Definitely, it's coming. It's
Oh,
here.
does that come under rental?
It's no mortgage will be things like your house, etc. So you can actually pay your mortgages through the Build Mastercard, and it's
Yeah, yeah. But my question is that I wouldn't assume that mortgage is. I guess you're doing it monthly, so it is sort of like a rental payment, but it isn't exactly like it wasn't exactly rent as such, right? So
It is as
I'm kind
such, so it runs as a mortgage payment. So basically, on a monthly basis across your 30-year loan or your 25 years loan or 20-year loan, depending on what you are on, it actually pays with
of.
loan agreement. And Build Mastercard is actually building this with that insight coming in. And then with the rental, I think is if you're renting out on an apartment, I don't think that makes a difference. Yes.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a lot. That's a huge like point.
Yes. So
That
that's why it falls under go.
that's totally justified.
Yep.
Okay. The next card is the Hilton Honors Amex Aspire card. So this has an annual fee of $550. You get 14 X points on hotels and resorts for the ones that are eligible for it. You get 7X points on some travel related expenses like flights um, when you book through the Amex portal. You get 7X points on dining at select US restaurants, both and including takeaway and delivery services. And you get 3X points on all other purchases. Plus, you have a welcome bonus of it's 175,000 Hilton Honor bonus points if you spend $6,000 within the first 6 months of holding your credit card. So, where do we put this on the tier list?
Well, unfortunately, I am not a very huge Hilton Honors fan, except staying at the Waldorf Astoria. So I think this will be think about it. And I also don't use a lot of Hilton Honors in general. Um, if you have a Centurion card, it already gives you the diamond membership, so it already actually enhance the current program itself. But if you're looking for Hilton Honors, American Express, Aspire, it's not something that I will actively look at. I'll think about it.
All right. So, like, a lot of the co-branded cards seem to fall into the think about it region.
Yeah, that's true.
We haven't got to skip this one yet, so let's see. Okay. The next one is the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless credit card. I'm assuming you will love this one because you do use Marriott a lot.
Correct. So if
Uh,
I use this one, I would say something that will be in my wallet day in, day out.
all right. Because it gives you 17x points if you book for like any Marriott property. You get 3x points on per dollar if you spend on the first 6,000 that you spend on groceries and gas and stuff, and you get 2x points for every other per dollar for every other purchase that you make. What would be the benefits of this card?
I think because I'm an ambassador elite with Marriott, so I will get it up to 17x. But if you are not, you will probably churn out to be about 12x to the 17x. So depending on which tier you are in, right? So it gives you 6x on every dollar spent on this particular card itself. So to me, I think this is a good card to have. If you are actually starting up the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless credit card, is a good card. And eventually, if you stay a lot more with the Marriott group, you should be running the Ritz-Carlton card. So to me, this is actually I would say a good card to have.
Good card. Okay, so it's like the precursor to the gold card in this with Marriott.
I would say it's not a precursor, but to the Ritz-Carlton rewards, this is actually a good card to have.
Okay, so the Ritz-Carlton credit card, do you get it only if you, you know, have a certain number of points or at a
So
particular maximum
you
tier list.
predominantly you need a year with Merit Boundless card or the higher tier card of with Merit. And in short, once you have that, you need to stay there with a year and at least have $10,000 on your credit limit. You'll probably potentially you will be able to convert your card to the Ritz Carlton card.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
All right. The next card is the City Custom Cash Card. Again, $0 annual fee, but you get 5% cash back on all of the eligible spends up to $5,000. You get 1% cash back on all other spends after that. And they're running a special travel offer where you get 4% cash back on hotels, car rentals, and attractions if you book it through the City Travel portal. As a welcome benefit, they're giving you $200 cash back after you spend $1,500 within the first 6 months of opening the account. Where do we put this one on the tier
I
list?
would say good. So the City Custom Cash Card is usually for people who actually owns a car. And so guess should be put it here because I think it will give you 5x up to $500. And at the same time, you just need to focus on one category. I think is something that you actually can do it on a monthly basis. So the City Custom Cash Card with no $0 annual fee and with spending very little to actually get you that rewards points. I think the sitting custom cash actually builds up your credit as well. So I think it is a good
Okay.
card to have.
So, as a beginner, you would suggest someone to pick up this card.
Definitely.
All right. Uh, and plus, it's cash back, so I think you can see your money or like how much you're spending, like how much you're getting in return very easily.
I like to reiterate, I not really into the cashback. So the cards
Okay.
itself can change it to rewards point, and it will be 5x based on 5%. So it's how it works out 1% to be 1x. So
Oh,
I would definitely use the City Custom Cash. It is the mobility is there, so you can actually transfer it to your City Strata Premier or the City Prestige card if you have any points with regards to that.
but why don't you prefer cash back?
No, 5% out of $500 is minute to me, right? So $2,500 definitely the value of 2,500 miles is definitely better than $25.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
any-
right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, the next card we have is the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. This has an annual fee of $550, but you get 10x on hotels or car rentals when you go through the Chase portal. You get 5x on flights, and you get 3x points per dollar on travel and on dining, and 1 point per dollar spent on all other purchases. As a welcome bonus, you're getting 60,000 points for if you spend $5,000 within the first 3 months of opening this account. So, where do we put this one?
Very good question. So I will put this one under mid. I
Mid.
am not a huge fan of the Chase Sapphire Reserve based on the annual fee. The only thing that they actually do well is the Chase Lounges, but you can use your priority pass on the Chase Lounges if you actually hold your Venture X card as well as your American Express Platinum Charge card. So to me, and as well as your American Express Gold card, right? So to me, this particular card is a mid for me. And I don't, and with a lot of people running into the Chase Sapphire Reserve card to the lounge, I still think it's a mid. It doesn't actually hold. And with the recent downgrade of Lyft being not in the correct point system right now, we do have supplementary cards that actually works out better. So I think the Chase Reserve card is now a mid for me.
All right. And honestly, if you need to go to the Chase Lounge, you already have the Chase Sapphire preferred on the good tier. So, that would
No,
probably
you
be a
can, you
better.
can. On the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you can't actually go to the lounge. You
Oh,
must have a priority pass to actually get in. Yeah.
okay, but how does that work? I feel like if you have a credit card, you should be able to enter the
Oh, it
lounge.
doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Okay. The next card that we have is the Blue Cash Preferred Amex card. This has an annual fee of $95, but you get 6% cash back on supermarkets. You get 6% cash back on some streaming subscriptions in the US. 3% cash back on gas, transit, like parking, toll, all of that, and 1% cash back on all other purchases. Plus, you get a $250 statement credit if you spend after you spend $3,000 with this card within the first 6 months. So where do we put this card?
I think it's still me. So this card is really a good beginner's card for people who wants to be in the cashback sector. Not that I'm a fan of it. I would say I have not much comments in terms of Blue Cash preferred card. Of course, I believe there is a way to actually convert the cashback to rewards points. And having said that, it's not something that is in my wallet right now. So I would just say
Okay.
I will give it a miss and I will be running on a mid. Yeah.
Okay. The next card that we have is the Wells Fargo autograph card. So this again $0 annual fee. You get unlimited 3x points on restaurants, travel, gas station, transit, popular streaming services, and uh, phone plans. Yeah, and you get 1% on all other purchases. Plus, you get as a welcome bonus, you get 20,000 points if you spend $1,000 within the first 3 months of opening the account. So where do we put this one?
I would say I will be on the think about it.
Think about it.
So think about it card. So basically this overlaps with some of the cards that are already existingly have. Distinctively the Chase of Fire preferred, the City Custom Cash card, and also, the Amex Blue card. So the Blue Cash card. So I would say this falls under the think about it. Might or might not want to have it, but if the perks actually improve, it is something that I will look out for.
Okay, so you're saying that this already has benefits that other cards have,
Okay.
so it's you should think about it.
Yes.
But if someone has only this card, it's a good card, right?
Right.
Okay, awesome. The next card is the City Advantage Executive World Elite Mastercard. Oh, that's a long
Yeah,
name.
no, I used to have this card, but I actually cancel it. This is
Oh,
not a card that I would want to put in my pocket right now. Having said that, with the high annual fee and getting into the lounge itself, there's more other ways to actually do it with status match. So not for one more, I don't think I would want to keep this card in my pocket. I would definitely skip this one. So this is
skip this
something
one.
that, yes, definitely skip this one.
Oh, but why though? You said that.
It's way
Why
too
would you?
it's way too much in terms of annual fee. And
Mhm.
the perks wise don't match any of the non-co-brand cards. So to me, as a definitely a skip.
Okay, awesome. The next card is the Capital One Venture X card. Wait, we did this right?
Yeah, we definitely did this.
Okay, then I'm gonna skip on to the next one, which is the World of Hired Chase card. This has an annual fee of $95, and you can earn up to 9 points total for hired stays. I guess this depends again on your loyalty to your basis, right?
Hmm.
And you get 2 bonus points on every dollar that you spend at restaurants, on airline tickets,
Right.
if you purchase directly from the airlines, and on local transit, on the gym memberships, on fitness clubs, etc. And as a welcome bonus, you get 60,000 bonus points. Again, this can be split into 3 months, where in the first 3 months, you can get 30,000 bonus points after you spend $3,000. And on the second 3 months, like the next 3 months, you can get again up to 30,000 bonus points. That depends on your spending habits. So where do we put this one?
I would say good. So
Good.
one of the cards that are, valuable, I think, in terms of World of Hyatt program itself, and the program itself is good. And at the same time, you get 4x for spending on the card itself. And also, they are valuable. Higher points are super valuable. I think the only way to actually transfer out of higher points will be built and all the airline programs that are already existingly there. So yeah, it is one of the most valuable points I think most people will want to have on board. And it's also quite easily to accumulate to, the global list with Hyatt in comparison to, Hilton Honors. So I will value, the worth of Hyatt much higher than Hilton Honest. And
Mhm.
definitely Marriott is more expensive than Hyatt. So yes, there you go.
Right.
So it's good.
Awesome. And one last card is the um, Bank of America Travel Rewards card. Where do we put this one on the tier list?
No, I will still think this is a skip this time. Any Bank of
Oh,
America card, I don't see it in my wallet right now. I don't even think that this is something that I will use in the near future. Yeah, I'll think about it. Everything from American Bank of America points, not as, from a valuation standpoint, not as
mhm.
good as, the rest of the banks that are out there with Chase, Capital One, or American Express.
Okay. So it doesn't have enough transfer partners or not valuable enough transfer partners? How
Yes,
does
it's
this?
it's just not valuable. The points itself that you are earning is the valuation wise, it's not good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that concludes our tier list. We have three in the good, so make notes of them. And we have five in the good, six in the mid, three in think about it, and two to skip. So how many of these do you have in your wallet right now?
Wow, I seem to have almost everything except anything under think about it. Yeah, everything else I should have that in my wallet currently right now.
So awesome. Honestly, I thought you'd have all of them because you have so many credit
No,
cards.
I do cancel some. Yeah, so it's part of what we do. We realign our strategy accordingly.
Awesome.
Right.
So that concludes today's episode. If you liked this video, please do make sure to like the video and comment and subscribe to it. Share with your friends and comment on which credit cards that you guys have. And do you have any of the gold credit cards or do you have any of the skipped credit cards? So that's it from us. We'll see you next week.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye.